What's going on, boys and girls? Today we are going to try a fragrance from the house of Zaharoff. And this is for all my rose lovers. You might want to strap up because we are going for a ride. All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the late evening. Today from the house of Zaharoff, we have signature Halfeti Black Rose. Shout outs to the Fragrance Apprentice for sending me this kit. Really appreciate you, buddy. If you guys haven't already, please go subscribe to the Fragrance Apprentice. If you are bored with Fragcom, if you are sick of watching reviews by people who parrot Fragrantica information and don't have personal experience with juices, which even I do some of that a lot. So if you're tired of me and other people who do that, go watch The Fragrance Apprentice. He will breathe new life into your interest with fragrances beyond just the practical wearing of fragrances, but appreciate it as an art form and be thoroughly entertained while doing it. Anyways, signature Halfeti Black Rose. What information? Well, before I give you this information, let me load the test strip up. And let me load my skin up so we can get some dry down by the time I'm done rattling this information off. Ooh, very fragrant in the air. One of the sickest looking bottles in the game, easily. 4.09 out of 5, but only 187 votes. But that is a gotta get your nose on it review score. Classified as a floral fragrance for men. That's surprising. Launched in 2024. 3 years in the making. The inspiration came when Rosé was launched in 2020. George was applying Noir on his skin, and then shortly thereafter applying Rose on the top. It was a magical fragrance, and he got to work with Claude Durr on a Noir Rose fragrance. It turned out to be exactly as was hoped, Noir with Rose, but it was too safe. And George Zaharoff set out with master perfumer Claude Durr to develop Halfeti Black Rose from scratch, apart and distinctive from any other Zaharoff fragrance in the signature collection, including Rose Anthenite Rosé. Imagine fighting through a thick thorn bush forest to get that one magical black rose. This is the inspiration behind Black Rose. Deep, mystical, sensual. This is a serious masculine scent. Let's dive in. Okay. One of the things I love about perfumery, and some of you guys may not care, which is why I'm telling you one of the things I love about fragrance is that I don't know what I like more, just buying a scent and being like, wow, this smells good or not, or I would wear this here. Or when you hear a concept, an artful, conceptual, metaphorical concept that is the vision of a fragrance, and then connecting that story to the scent. And the scent makes the story come alive, and the story makes the scent come alive. That is this moment. And when you get sucked into that aspect of trying a fragrance, you almost are hallucinating, you're transporting, you're outside. It's an outer body experience because you experience it as art, like you're watching a movie almost before you even think of goodness or badness. You're just connected to almost getting in the shoes of the perfumer and just enjoying that aspect of it. So I'm going to read this for you again because it's really spot on. Imagine fighting through a thick thorn bush forest to get to one magical black rose. This is the inspiration behind this rose. Deep, mystical, sensual. This is a seriously masculine scent. Okay. It is fresh dark. So it has a dark tonality with a odd, almost foggy night freshness to it. It's soapy. It's quite soapy. I mean, after it transitions quite soapy. The rose is, I mean, this smells like a black rose would smell like, but the soapy quality almost makes you feel the stemmy, greeny, earth soiliness of it, but it's so fresh for how dark and sensual it is. Sometimes you smell the soap more. Sometimes you smell the rosy kind of, again, I don't know what kind of rose this is because it's a slight, tiny, sweet, super earthy, soapy rose with a dark black backbone that's ultra foggy and fresh. This is oddly sensual. Let's switch screens real quick. I'm dying to know what is in this scent. Black pepper, basil, bergamot. I think that's what's giving me kind of this soap accord is the top notes, the cedarwood, and the cypriol. I'm not a big fan of cypriol. I'm going to keep it tall with you, but I don't make out a cypriol note specifically. The blend on this scent from Zaharoff is really admirable. Again, similar to the first one we did, Signature Extreme or whatever. Looking at all these notes, you can make out some particulars, but the blend balance is so right. Like when you have balance this perfect in a scent, you can really sit with it and investigate your connection to it. You know, when stuff just sticks out or is disjointed, it ruins it just ruins the whole thing. I mean, imagine dancing with a girl to a slow song and you're on the dance floor and the DJ keeps skipping the record and you hear wah, wah, like just randomly at random. You can't focus on how good the girl looks or the fact that you're dancing with a girl on the dance floor because you're just so distracted. And that's where balance is so underappreciated in perfumery. Just to get a balanced juice is such a technical skill that I'm observing because I can just spot rookie perfumery a mile away now due to smelling stuff of this caliber. I do think this is for a niche group of people, but if you're into rose, it's certainly one of the more unique ones because I've never really come across, well, I have, but not that many. It's rare that you'll come across a kind of soapy rose. I do think it's important with this scent. Like, if I didn't hear the story, I would judge this scent a lot more critically. But since I heard the story, when I actually put my nose to my skin, I can smell like I imagine reaching deep into like a bush out into the forest to like get a thorn or to get a rose, and like a couple of thorns prick and scrape my skin, but I get to it and I pull it out and I smell it and I'm just in the darkest of night, slight fog in the air, but a crazy amount of freshness coming through. And that freshness at times feels soapy. And so the scent is kind of dancing between this kind of simply sweet, sensual, dark rose. And then it dances between that and kind of this soapy rose water. And that creates the kind of atmosphere of this scent. And so from that standpoint, from an art standpoint alone, I really appreciate it. I think it'd be hard for a lot of men to pull this off just because it's a really great scent, but the practicality of how to use a scent like that, like this would definitely be a scent where if it was just you living in this world and you didn't have to be around anybody, no question, I would put this on, you know, to enjoy the experience of it. But in the where would I wear this and who would I wear this around category, I do think you'd have to be a very strong-willed, bold-minded individual to like make it work. And even when you made it work, where would you do it? Would you do it? I wouldn't do this in a date night, you know, soapy dark rose. I probably wouldn't. I would probably need at least a good breeze with a scent like this, and then I would wear it outdoors at sunset. I think that could be really cool as a sunset date. Sunset out by the water, out by the pool, at a restaurant. This could go in the right scenario. Indoors, warm, no. You're eating outside, or you're in one of those restaurants that have a giant opening and it's a breezy night. I don't think it's a Netflix and chill type of scent. I think it's an occasion-based signature scent. So for that reason, it would be a special occasion type of fragrance. You got to get your nose on it, though. Very cool take on rose. And it is technically on paper a rose oud, but I wouldn't associate it with any of the rose ouds you guys have heard me speak on. This is its own thing. Can we appreciate this bottle? Can we? Because I'm just going to tell you right now, that is probably one of the coolest bottles I've seen in perfumery. That is sick. That is amazing. In fact, if the fragrance wasn't so signature, I would buy it. But you would never use 100 ml of this fragrance, I don't think. Not at all. Hard pressed to use 50, I would benefit from a 30 ml. To be quite honest, I would get a 30 ml of this, but I would be mad that I didn't get the 100 ml because this artwork is freaking sick. I wish Zaharoff didn't put the Z on top of the rose. I mean, it's on the cap, it's on the back, it's on the bottom. Can we just let the rose live here? I mean, it looks like a mistake that didn't need to be there. But nonetheless, the art is technically sound. It is sweet. I would love to have that on my shelf. Price point on this is $155 for a 60 ml. Wait, what is this? Why did it change? Wait a second. What happened to the bottle? What's the difference? Signature black rose? Hold on. Okay, I wanted to make sure that I'm reviewing the correct scent. Can you just get this in different renditions? Is that why? Oh, okay. So the 60 ml presentation comes like this. This is terrible to me, but this is sick. Okay, so the 60 ml presentation comes like this. See, man, I don't like that. Here's a question. Have you guys ever not purchased a fragrance due to how terrible the bottle looks? I think this is one of those moments for me. Like, I would get the travel spray and then bust that out whenever I could in the wintertime. That bottle is amazing. I mean, it really is. It's absolutely stunning bottle right here. We talked about occasions, alternatives. I don't really know of any because it's just that soapy rose kind of thing is new to me. It oddly imitates a lot of some of the more vintage rose fragrances from pre-2000s, but it has a modern refinement to it, but it's highly signature. You got to get your nose on this, man. I think some women would try to make a scent like this work, but it's definitely a masculine take on rose. What do I feel about this as a score? I mean, just politically, I have to give it at least an 8, but I think it's a low 8. It's an above average scent wearing experience that I think this is one of those scents. Let me say it like this. I think this is one of those scents where, wow, that opening is just nice. Like the second time I sprayed it, it was just even more heavenly. I think this is one of those scents where the more you wear it, the more you'll love it. So even if you hate it, the more you wore it, the less you would hate it. because it's such a unique take on rose that first and foremost, you have to be a rose lover to even be optimistic enough to see this take on rose. But it's definitely a scent that is so unique in the rose category. Each time you put it on, you'll get past the kind of basicness of it and start to smell more of the layer buildup of this scent. This is a scent that, you know, if I was sitting on a bus next to somebody and we had a really good conversation with a few words, you know, like maybe we exchanged a back and forth sentence, maybe like 10 times, but it was a very small conversation. It was only 2 minutes long. And when the person left, I would be, maybe the bus ride was short. And I think to myself, man, for not really saying much to this individual, this is a very, I wish we could have spoke more. The person sounded very interesting. You ever had that type of experience with somebody? That's what I feel like this is. Like, at first, it's peculiarity, is that a word? And curiosity. You sit with it more and more, and it's a scent profile that I think you wouldn't like at first. And the more you wore it, maybe this doesn't become the scent you buy, but it opens your mind into an arena of scent profile style that you wouldn't have appreciated if you didn't, rite of passage, go through this first. So this definitely isn't for everybody, but when you do get a sample of this, like, please wear it for like 3 days straight. 3 days straight. Load it up. Spend 3 days with it. I bet you by day 2 and 3, you'll feel entirely different than day 1. I don't know if that'll be a positive or a negative thing, but you'll experience more of the nuance and subtlety of this. The second time spraying, the opening was better than the first. So that tells me like this is a scent profile you got to spend time with. I definitely give it an 8. I don't know if I would go up with it, but to me, as is, it's a 8.0. And the more I wear this, I'll probably push it up, but it's hard for me to have a lot of use case for this. For my men out there, 25 and up, I do think it's probably 30 and up, but I think a mature 25 and up who appreciates rose would at least have to try this out to see if it could be a signature scent for you easily. Occasions are going to be tough for this, but I think this scent needs a breeze despite how it's dark and somewhat dense, but oddly fresh for the nighttime. You know, it's like having a breeze whisk by your face in the darkest of night. I love how the story was connected to the scent here. I really felt that. And then, you know, again, you got to just get your nose on this. We went over the price point. Alternatives, I really don't know. This is cool. I mean, for my women out there and my men who have ever shopped in the Lush bath bomb soapy kind of store, if you're into that kind of aroma chemical materials in the soaps and bath bombs, you know, we're talking herbals and soaps and citrics and roses and lavender and all that, and you can tolerate standing in that store, get your nose on this, because that's what it kind of has an aromatherapeuticness about it that connects you with nature, but the story and the rose, it's just cool. I don't know. I'm just trying to speak my mind and I'm freestyling. So I'm trying to just get the information out there about how this scent makes me feel. But I'm going to try to learn to understand this scent a little bit more. And then, you know, I have a 10 mil, so I will definitely try to wear it when there is a breeze in Arizona. So it'll probably be at night, and try to familiarize myself and see how it makes me feel further before I even figure out where I'm going to wear it outside, if I wear it outside. But this was Zaharoff's signature black rose, or signature Halfeti black rose. And it was really interesting to smell. I'm looking forward to trying this fragrance on and wearing it and trying more of the line, because I've really kind of waited to get into the Zaharoff line because I wanted to go through all of it at once and really see the house's vision and appreciate their scents. Because with this level of creativity, I will easily like quite, you know, a few fragrances from that brand. I just need to find the fragrance that speaks to me the most. But from an artistic standpoint, This feels a lot like when I tried the Javoy Discovery set, where I was just kind of sucked into the brand's message and their art. And it wasn't really about trying to find a scent for myself as much as it was just getting an experience with perfumery that's so out of the designer world and into a whole new world of like, oh, that's a cool smell. Like, and you just get outside of yourself to start enjoying perfumery. I'm not sure, many of you guys aren't really into that aspect of the game, but especially with me, I've put my nose to like thousands of scents at this point. Scents like these are like a breath of fresh air. It's like, this stuff makes you want to get up in the morning and continue to try fragrances because everything isn't just like a whitewash of just the same old thing. So I appreciate this just for being different. And there is a modernness to a lot of the Zaharoff scents, but they are very particular and signature in a lot of cases. So you definitely have to get your nose on this first. And if you decide to buy it, please don't buy that 60 ml bottle. That bottle is terrible. Get the 120, but I don't think you'll need that. Like, I think 30 ml or less would be plenty of juice for you. Oh, let me go over the performance and projection real quick before I get out of here. Majority vote says long lasting with a good amount of sillage. I do feel like this is at least 3 feet of projection. I think the sillage is small on this though, so inside 3 feet as well. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hope you guys stay blessed. Talk to me. I do talk back. Let me know the Zaharoffs that you want me to try from this brand. I'm trying to get all of them. It's hard to get your hands on them, but we will go through them one at a time. Oh, also join the Discord below. We've got a popping community of almost over 70 people. And I'm dropping secrets in there that I'm not telling anybody else. Anyways, love you guys. Peace.